There will certainly be some heavy showers around for some this weekend, but at least temperatures shouldn't be too bad. Make the most of that because we've got something much colder on the way for a time next week. I'll have all the details and the full national forecast next.
Tell us, how is the weekend looking?
It's not looking great, I'm afraid. Well, unless you're in the north. In the north, it's looking lovely. In the south, disappointing. But it's not going to be cold, and that is a good thing because as we look ahead to next week, things really do start changing. We seem to have plunged feet first into autumn, don't we? We have still had some very warm temperatures rising up into the high 20s today. But over the next few days, we are expecting a bit of a change. So let's have a look at what's going on. At the moment, you can see we've got these sort of oranges and yellows that sit across the UK, indicating to something which is really quite warm for the time of year. Then high pressure starts building out to the west, and that creates a northerly airflow. Then we've got this cold front that zips through early next week, and then you can see the blues spreading across the UK. And that means that temperatures really are going to be taking a bit of a tumble. This is not unusual for this time of year, but potentially we could be seeing our first wintry stuff on the very highest tops of the Scottish mountains. Don't worry too much as we look ahead to next week. So something a little bit of a step change, and you can see the difference in those temperatures. Today, as I say, they rose up into the high 20s across some parts of the UK. Quite broadly, we were seeing them, you know, kind of 8 degrees above the seasonal average. By Wednesday next week, they're plunging around 10 to 14 degrees below where they've been today. So really a marked change in those temperatures. You'll definitely notice it. It is but a brief spell, and inevitably we're going to be getting some warm stuff again, as we very often do in September. But it's just a sign that things are starting to change and that autumn is definitely here. Let's have a look now at the forecast. It is the Great North Run on Sunday. The Great North Run is in Newcastle. I am not running it. I would, but I'm busy washing my hair. But anyway, if you are running the Great North Run, I don't think you are either, then it is going to be largely dry, but I think probably quite hot.
Good for them. Thanks, Becky.
So if you live in the south, you may want to look away now. I'm afraid the weekend is not looking to be massively cheerful. There is a disproportionate amount of dry and bright weather around, and it's not in the south, it's in the north. We've still got a weather warning in force for that heavy rain sitting across southwestern parts for the next few hours. But then fairly quickly, we are going to be expecting things to dry up. But it's going to be because quite a mild night, and what we call the dew point, which is the amount of moisture in the air, is quite high at the moment. Quite a claggy, humid and quite a moist sort of picture overnight. Those temperatures staying up into the mid, or for some, the high teens. Then we have a look ahead to tomorrow, and as you can see, it's quite a slow start to the day, but fairly quickly the brightness starts appearing across much of Scotland, Northern Ireland and parts of northwest England for a time. Also maybe something a little bit brighter if you squint towards eastern parts of East Anglia. But in this sort of stretch here, really from sort of Edinburgh down to Hull and then across to Plymouth, we're going to be seeing more in the way of cloud and really some quite heavy bursts of rain in places. From a temperature point of view, again, as I say, we're still in that sort of yellow zone, the yellow-orange zone, indicating to something a little bit milder. These temperatures are above where they should be for the time of year. A little bit cooler on Sunday, and Sunday itself is going to be, well, a bit of a washout across more southern parts of the UK. There will be brightness at first there, but then very quickly a lot more cloud and some rain start moving in with some heavy bursts in places and feeling a little bit cooler as well.